It's been so long. Finally got rid of the 40 inches of snow we got about 3-4 weeks ago. So I'm in the strawberries, getting them ready. I'm tagging all my old strawberries. I've been having a hard time figuring out which ones are producing, which ones aren't, because they're kind of a buried mess by the end of the season. So I'm using pieces of a margarine container to mark all these. Here, I'll show you. So here's the margarine container. Just make your own little tab. I just stick them in the ground. And that marks all my old growth. So when all the runners come out over this next 3 or 4 months, those will be my new plants. And anything that doesn't have a bunch of flowers or strawberries on them with a white tag is coming out. That's how I'm going to keep rotating the old stuff out. We'll see how that works. I dug down into my compost and found quite a bit of good black earth down there from my pile. So we took a couple buckets full. We're going to put at least an inch or two all around the strawberries. And this should be enough once I water it in to fertilize this for a good couple months anyway. This is my homemade contraption to keep the big birds out of here chewing up all my good strawberries. So this was my winter experiment. I took a big pile of my leaves and just buried it in a tarp. Covered it up for the winter, and what you get in the summer or spring here is a big pile of dry leaves in the spring. So it's not getting enough moisture from under the ground. So that's a fail. For this region anyway. But over in the compost, I'm going to cut the grass today, bag it, throw it in here. This is a bit too dry. It's all leaves from last fall, so that one will be ahead of this one, and I'll probably use it 2 weeks. We'll get spread out everywhere. This is breaking down nicely. It's got mixed in grass, about 1/3 grass to 2/3 leaves. Won't be long, probably a few weeks. Once it gets warm, this is going to turn to dirt real fast. This is sped up, of course. Lightly spaded. If I don't turn my soil, I'll add compost to the top as mulch later on. As far as planting all my peas, I just follow directions on the package for spacing and depth. I use my finger as a measure. I know my first knuckle is about 1 inch. Usually works out to be just fine. One thing I didn't show on here is when I'm done, I'll be covering this area with chicken wire to keep the birds from picking the seeds out. My push mower is running at warp speed and won't stop. So I took a look. It looks like a piece of linkage or something has come apart here. Get my manual out, went to YouTube, checked it out. Sure enough, there was a piece missing. So I used a wire, and she's all good. It's always something. See you in the gym or in the garden next time.